What is going on, warriors? Your boy Shidri back here with another video, and today we're going to be looking at a character that's sort of like given a bit of not so much attention and love so far. Well, I have actually mentioned him a few times, talked about him a bit, but for the first time ever since the character has been released, I actually haven't even bothered to really look at the kit and how the character works. It's not that I'm not excited about the character, but I've just been more or less excited about the additional stuff that has sort of like been added. Okay, and one of the things that has sort of like been really amazing, and oh yeah, before I actually continue, is check out this pool I just made right now. Really nice, best pool ever. I waited to save 300, of this, hearts, gems, and I pull like an Inferno character, as well as we go ahead and pull someone Yang as well. So one of my best pulls ever, even if it's only two characters. I think I've only ever put two characters max before, so it's equals to the best pull ever. But then the two calibers of the character were pretty much added exactly. Really nice. Okay, so just trying to like go right ahead and clear my dots, the daily stuffs. All right, we're just going to go right ahead and just pick out this stuff real quick here, and then we're going to be looking at El Fuerte finally to see how this guy works. I have no clue. I haven't watched videos. I think the only thing I've sort of like seen, I've seen the title about him, but nothing. Like I'm not really like settled in to actually try to watch anything. So we're going to see if this character is worth a pull from the win faction. Okay, so we're going to go over to the gallery real quick here. I have a lot of red dots over here. I haven't collected 50 gems here and there. I probably will do that later, but here is the character we're talking about today. Okay, the Rey Mysterio clone, the fast luchador, the jumping around, all that good stuff there. Different mix to the Street Fighter verse, and actually makes a huge sort of like a huge like difference in terms of game mechanics when it comes to using the character to fight. That's one of the stuff that I like about Street Fighter. Whenever they add a new character, they do have a different kind of mechanism to it. They fight. They feel a bit different. It doesn't feel like a copy and paste, like a reincarnation of a character that actually exists for. An example I can give are characters like when it comes to like well, I don't want to bash into the games because I actually do love them, so I'm going to just sweep that. Okay, but now let's go right and let's see what this character is all about. Okay, so as you can see here is the win character. He gives you 485 in terms of power. If we compare to the other ones, he's a little bit above the regulars. Okay, well, let's see who are the top ones, but not up to the top ones, something like the Inferno faction. So decent amount of power. What that means obviously is that when you combine it with your other characters, the more your power is compared to your opponent, the more effective your attack is going to be. For example, if for example a character, the entire team base is like 1,000 M, right, and then the other one is like 500 M, they're probably going to be getting times 2 the damage, and they're going to be dishing times 2 the damage and going to be receiving half the damage from the opposing side. That's that sort of thing, right? So it's also why the challenges get more difficult, because if you look at your own overall power compared to the opponent's overall power, they're a lot higher. But that's pretty much what you guys do, that power aspect first. He is a balanced character as well, so you have to look at the elements there. Let's go to the section I'm talking about, the fighting heart, to see where you're sort of like dishing out your distribution, right? I'm trying to push this all the way up to 25 before I actually try and work on some of the other ones. My support are sort of like struggling for now, and because I'm sort of like more keen on the attacking side than the healing and whatever side. It's still not, it's still better to balance everything out, but you have to prioritize who is the more MVP of your team, and typically it's always the attack. In my own case, mostly the assassins, but my balance is pretty much sort of like decent. That is also something that you want to look at when it comes to how excited you are about a character as well, because you have to consider the sort of like class that you're sort of boosting in the fighting heart compared to the class of the character that you're trying to actually acquire. Okay, so and then of course what else are we looking at as well with regards to Fuerte still is his fighting style is wrestling. Okay, and yeah, and those are all the basic stuff, but we also want to look at the passive. All right, you have to bear in mind that he's a 1 and a 2. All right, that means you have to look at characters that would require that. Right now the characters that are sort of like missing, or that have been dominant recently, in terms of coming in at 1 and 2s. There are a lot of 1s and 3s or 2 and 3s, but 2 and 3s I believe are one of the more uh, rarer ones. But then again, those 2 and 3s that typically belong to really, really good characters. Your twos, you don't want your twos to be important because you're going to be having certain people. Of course, you have to remember that you're also building different teams as well. So you don't have to think about your primary team. You have to think about maybe support team. Is this going to be someone that's going to be backing up in your support team as well? So those are things to look at as well. But let's go ahead and look at the passive because that's what it's going to define the character. We're going to also look out for the keywords that we typically do, and then we're going to find out if the kit actually makes us drool or if it's more like a meh kind of kit, or if it just does the job. So when inflicted with a debuff, recover HP equal to 10% of max HP and swiftly counter attack with the Tetsuzanko, dealing damage equal to 28% of attack to the nearest target trigger in about 15 seconds. So is this 100% chance to do this counter attack? And this only happens when you get a debuff. Okay, so the likes of you know Rose and Ivory you're going to be getting countered. Is that what it is? Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like if you get the applied debuff, it's going to happen automatically. They're not saying given any percentage, just automatic, which is cool. So it means you're expecting to even have to attack when you're not attacking, especially when you're facing a lot of all these flame characters, bleed characters. He's a pretty good character so far. Tetsuzanko has a 50% base chance to inflict stun on the target for 0.5 seconds. Oh, okay. When afflicted with a debuff, recover HP equal to 15% of max HP. Okay. Tetsuzanko has a 100% base chance to inflict stun on the target for 0.5 seconds. So, you apply a debuff, it's just going to attack you, and then you're going to get stunned. And that's actually cool. And but the thing is, it's 0.5 seconds, so it's not going to be enough to damage like a combo chain. So you don't have to worry about the detriments. Hey, you're just going to just notice that the character is just going to be stunned for a little second. That's 30 seconds. Who knows? Can be detrimental by 0.5 seconds. I don't think it's super detrimental like that. It is a cool mechanic, but not super detrimental. So now let's go right ahead and let's look at his basic. But as you can see so far, he doesn't have any key, he doesn't have any key, keyword in terms of the moveset yet that we have to watch out for. It just has basic stun. Okay, so apparently he applies bleed as well, because the bleed is kind of shining up on my face. I can see bleed 3 times on the screen. But let's go right ahead and let's read the stuff. Okay, unleash a flurry of kicks. Let's look at the animation. Alright, nice. Unleash a flurry of kicks and strike targets in an area 5 times, dealing damage equal to 415% of attack. Each strike has a 20% chance of inflicting bleed. Increase damage 470% of attack. Increase bleed chance to 30%. And of course, we know what bleed does. You lose HP 1% per max per second, up to 10% attack. Effect lasts for 10 seconds and stacks up 3 times. Okay, so not a bad first move. Might be a contender for a startup move as well, especially if you're working with him and if you have Fashion Ken in your arsenal, it would be a good pair for the character as well.
Over here.
Oh, look at that move, right? Okay, so quickly launch and smash enemies with kicks, striking target in an area 4 times to deal damage equal to 240% of attack. Each strike has 100% chance to inflict it. Each strike has a 20% chance to inflict armor break. Oh, this is nice. This is gonna be nice. When you want to sort of like deal damage to the opposing team. You think about the armor break when it comes to trying to like clear out the team on time versus where you sort of like boost an attack for points. So this is actually not bad at all. It's actually really nice. Actually going to contend for #1 slots in, like, for example, maybe like a B team, maybe your second team or whatever. I see this character as someone who would just slide into this next line of characters. If you're playing this game for a long time, if you're a newbie or just starting to build up, then yeah, it could definitely work the first one. And it's also good to note that these are both AoE moves. Okay, I didn't actually mention that, but they're AoE moves. And now let's look at the final one. Okay, this is all armor break in this case, and let's look at this here. When this launch quick, hold on, I just heard it was over. I wanted to see the. Okay, yeah, I know this move right there. Yeah, that's kind of like his. It almost looks like his EX move, but hey, let's go. So quickly launch and smash enemies with kicks, striking targets in an area 2 times. AoE again, to deal damage equal to 354% of attack. Each strike has a 12% chance to inflict bleed and a 10% bleed chance to inflict armor break. It's you're looking for, someone to pair with, the likes of, Fashion can. So he looks like that character, but I don't know how is mood leading to bleed. I guess just adding bleed for bleed's sake. Maybe bust it from your nose. You hit the nose on the floor, whatever. It's kicking you every there. You're bleeding through your nose. That's the only way I can think about it. But yeah, he's bleeding so far. And of course, levels increase to 407%, and of course, 40% chance to actually uh, bleed and 35% chance to armor break as you go to the final level. And you know what that does. So pretty much basic mechanic, not someone that actually is breaking the way things work. Like for example, we're not having new mechanics like how we have from Witchery. It's just been on someone that I believe is just here to add support to the likes of Fashion Ken. He just seems like a guy that would just want to stroll in to help Fashion Ken for sure. Let's go ahead and let's look at the fighting spirit as well, because this is also important. You want to look at how is it going to be something that you want to put in your support slot at the very minimum, or does it get better? So let's look at the assist first of all. Um, when the assisted fighter is afflicted with a debuff, they recover HP equal to 3% of Fortune's max HP per second for 3 seconds. That's it. They don't do the counter. That's unfortunate. I'd love for them to also do the counter that Fortune does as well, but they don't do that. They just only get health recovery. There's a lot of health recovery, people there, and honestly, they're not really one of the popular ones to choose in assist slots. All right, but that's what he's doing there. Gains 50% damage bonus when attacking enemies afflicted with armor break. Okay, that's cool. So that actually works for him. All right, so definitely work well with also Kami. That's actually a good move there. Increase your damage boost. All right, and when you unlock plus 20. When inflicting armor break on an enemy, also reduce their critical resist for 8% for 15 seconds. That's with 3 times. That's also a nice move as well. When afflicted bleed on a target, also reduce their critical rate by 8% for 50 seconds. Oh, that's actually it's more. His model is like just slowly weakening the opponent. Weaken meaning you're weak in terms of like taking damage, and also you're weak in dishing out damage as well. So it's pretty much just weakening the target as well. And that's what the guard does to the final star. There's his boot right there. That's the image you can see here. Tetsuzanko deals 50% more damage and gains 100% chance to inflict bleed and 100% base chance. So the counter attack is going to hit more. That's actually not bad at all. And also you are going to be doing armor break while you counter. Whoa, that actually is nice. Actually, it's nice. So that's actually nice, because the chances are that you're going to face a lot of teams that are going to be offering debuffs, like the likes of Fashion Blanca is in almost every team right now. There's going to be Burn. There's a lot of teams right here. He's going to be doing his stuff and trying to hang in there with the big boys. Also, once you have all cards, gain 30% damage bonus for 8 seconds after unleashing Guacamo Throw. Guacamo Throw. Why did I say Guacamo Throw? Normal throw trigger interval is 8 seconds. How does Guacamole throw work? I don't think I remember the moves anymore. So let's see. Is it one of the moves here? Oh, it's the passive. Oh, so as you counter. Okay, that's nice. Oh, let's go back and I want to look at everything. And so as you counter, you do 30% more damage. Yeah, that's cool. Pretty neat character. The kit looks nice, looks basic. So like I said, it's not like an over the board kind of kit that's gonna be like, oh wow, this is a new character. This is like a must have, whatever. I know some of my followers are not super excited about them. They don't really like. They're not super fond of the character so far. I don't think he's gonna be changing their minds with his kit so far. But at the same time, he looks like a pretty good team unit that you might want to use in the towers. But is he going to displace any existing win team right now? I want to look at the top 4 win team, to have. He's not going to displace Chun-Li for sure. Chun-Li not having soul power. He's not going to displace Gal, one of the best damage dealers out there. He can't displace, Abel, because Abel is a tank on his own, and he's one that represents the tank for the win team. Kami, he can't displace her either. It's going to be tough to displace. Well, maybe he can, but Kami offers you a 3. He just does 1 and a 2. So they're not really comparable. Street Poison, very one of the best win characters out there. Like, and of course, if you haven't, this one's the main win character. It's gonna be tough for him to displace any primary team unit for sure. But then, when you're going over and you're doing Shadaloo, the Shadaloo city, and you have to build a team of three, and then you have restricted, or factions that you can actually select. Then I think he's going to come in useful as well. And of course, you have to also consider the fact that where are you guys at with building certain team? He pretty much is one. He's. I think we're going to have to use him gameplay wise to actually see if he actually hits more than his. Kit suggests, but then again, my with regards to judging him on a gameplay one, we are going to go right ahead and up. And attempt his limited time experience should be the latest one right now. Chances are that with me having only 15% devoted to balanced characters, I think it's going to do a decent job because I have some balanced characters who's still working right. At least it's not like 10%, or it's not low on the whatever, but it's not high either. So those are things we have to watch out for when we're going to go right ahead and test character in the realm itself. Now I'm going to go right ahead and be releasing that shortly. Otherwise, this is pretty much Fuerte in terms of his kit reveal and what it looks like. This is, I think it's decent. No, honestly, like there's no wow factors. One of the wow factors, in my opinion, if you want to consider a character just that is actually like in that caliber, is you're going to see new mechanics. Those new mechanics are going to get you confused. You want to start rereading all over again to figure out what it is. That's how you know that a character is super up there. But when it just kind of basic stuff, sometimes basic always works. But you have to consider the fact that we're also building they're trying to build a team for Fashion Ken so that he's more viable than he is right now, and Fuerte is going to be an extremely strong contender for being part of a Fashion Ken team. So that is the positive that he brings there. Otherwise, that's pretty much it from your boy Shinryu today. I appreciate your time here. I know you guys might have been waiting for this a day earlier, but I thought I was very much engrossed whenever I had time with the new features that came out with the game, which I'm actually excited about. And I actually did mess up with regards to the towers. Okay, I forgot that you could actually you could actually just use the where is it, the where you just challenge continually. I guess you can find it if I go to Winter right now. Challenge, yeah, you can do the consecutive challenge, but I did it with the Inferno, and just kind of like just breeze it throughout the night once and all that stuff. So that's how I got that cleared. I'll do that next time with once the master is available again. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to have to hit the max because I'm going to be one short, but it's all good. It's been a boy Shinryu. Thanks again for tuning in again. I think the game is building up a lot nicely. The mechanics is the way it's supposed to work. That's not the problem. It's pretty much the content and what they have to deliver. And I think there's more stuff to talk about now. But we're going to see how it works and how it holds up. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to smash a like on that button that you see over there. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys. I'll keep on joining in. You guys have been awesome. Appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.